In this video, we're going to show you how to clean up your roofs once you've created them and be able to join them back to the main roof. As you can see this example, there's quite a lot of roof geometry going on where we have roofs overlapping and we have some gabled ends out in the front. Here I'll show you the reference material drawings so that we have this roof here is a gabled end, and then we have this roof. This main roof kind of slopes out to this corner, to this gable, but then this second part of this main roof, you can see it's held back to these posts, and so it's going to require us to make and change our geometry of our roofs. So I'll show you how to get this roof cleaned up. So I think one of the first things we'll have to do is we're going to have to create two separate roofs for this side, this main roof, because we have this roof sticks out further, this eave, which we're going to join to this corner, and then this portion is back further. And so when we were working on this, trying to get this to work, the geometry here, adding this, we tried to add a little bump out here, but it's to bring this out further, but it doesn't want to join with this other roof, and it's been causing some problems. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my top plate view, or your second level of roof, whatever you've called it, basically where you can see out your entire roof. And I'm going to modify some of these roofs before I get started. So I'm going to take this roof and I'm just going to delete it. So you can right click and delete. And actually I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to keep this roof and I'm going to delete this part of the roof. So what I'll do here is trim up this roof to align so that it's only over this portion, which aligns to this side here. So I'm going to align this line here, pick the line under modify, and I'm going to align it to this edge if I can. I'm going to move it instead of a line and see if it'll give me that corner. And it will. And I'm going to do the same thing at this bottom corner. Just getting this roof all lined up. And so now we have a single roof entity over this one area, because in our reference material this roof comes out to here, but this part of the roof only comes out to this post. And so we'll hit OK once we're done. And there was a cutting element that was cutting this roof, so we're just going to delete it. And then we're also going to, you see the roof is just one sloped roof. We're going to come in here and edit the boundary and then select this bottom line and tell it to define the slope. And so now we have that main roof out here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to modify this roof boundary. So we'll edit the footprint, and I'm going to bring this roof further back. I'm just going to grab the line, hold the left mouse button down so I can drag it, and just pull it back. And then hit OK. As you can see, it pulled it back into that roof, and I'll show you how to clean it up. The other thing too here, this roof is aligned on this side, but it'll actually need to come down and meet the slope here on this side. So let's get that fixed up. So if we go to our side view here, we'll want to bring this corner down to here. So if we go up to our Modify tab and then measure between 2 points, we can measure and see we're about 1.5 feet up from where this should be. So we'll go to our top plate, and then we'll edit our footprint again, and then we're going to give it a -1 and 1/2 offset. So if we go back to our east view, we can see that this is now lined up with this corner. And so what we'll want to do now is we'll want to join this roof with this roof. We'll see what happens here. One of the things too, because we want this edge, but we extended this boundary kind of into the roof. Let's extend it back so we can see the edge a little bit. So we'll go to our top plate view, edit the footprint, and just pull this back a little further so that we can see that edge, and then we'll try to join it to this main roof. So we go to the Modify tab, up to Geometry, and Join Unjoin Roof. We'll pick this edge. As you can see, when I select the Join Unjoin Roof, it'll highlight the edge that you want to join, and then you'll pick this face, and then it's giving us an error that it says the roof cannot be joined. And after we were kind of looking into this issue, we found that if this edge is aligned exactly with the edge that you're trying to join, it won't allow it to join. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this roof out just enough to hopefully allow us to join it. So I'll go to Move here at the Modify tab. I'm going to move it out just 1/16 of an inch and see if it'll allow us to join if we have a slight offset. Here it didn't move, so let's go to the Move command again. If something doesn't move, like I put in, 1/16, you can see it didn't go anywhere. When you try to move something, there will be these constraints at the top. And so right now, none of the constraints are set. And so we'll want to select Disjoin. That will make it so that we can actually move our roof. So we'll try to move it that 1/16 of an inch. And as you can see, just barely, it moved it out a little bit past this roof. And you can see when I hover over it, you can see the line. The horizontal line is not quite lined up. And so we can now we can try and see if it'll allow us to join roofs. So we'll go back into our 3D view, go to Join, Unjoin Roof, select this edge, select the face we want it to join, and then there, it joins. It's an interesting issue with Revit, and so I'm not sure exactly why it does that, but I think it's just because it's over constraining the geometry, because this outside roof is it's actually a boundary line. I think what happens is it makes this boundary line too small. So, because even though it hasn't changed our boundary line, it's actually manually, when we hit that join, making this boundary come all the way out to here and then up, and so it's not letting it join. So now we got that problem fixed, but still we have this wall technically is supposed to come up to this roof. When we look at our reference drawing here, so this is the face we're looking at, and so we'll want this wall to come up to create this face here. So to get a wall to join, we'll grab this wall, we'll say to attach the top base up at the Modify tab, and we'll attach it to that roof. And it says it can't keep wall and roof joined, so we'll hit unjoin. I'm going to try it again, attach the roof. It's still not going to let us. So we try something else first here. Let's try to fix this roof here. We want it to basically cut out this portion of the roof. Let's look at our reference view. So there's another option. If you go to the Architectural tab, and here it says we can create a dormer opening, and so I think we can consider that this is like a dormer at the end of this house here, this kind of gabled end. So let's try to pick dormer. So we'll pick dormer, we'll hover over and see what it says. Cuts the roof to create an opening for a dormer, and so it's going to want us to pick the lines that we want it to create. So we're going to pick the roof. So here at the bottom, if you're not hovering over an element, over here in the bottom left it says select a roof to be cut by dormer openings. So we'll want to select this roof, and then we'll want to try to pick the edges that we want it to cut that roof. And so I picked this roof, and you can see that it cut the line here, so that it's going to cut out that part of the roof. I'll do that again. So we'll pick roof wall edges, and we'll pick this roof. You can see in our plan view it created those, and then we'll pick this front edge too, and we'll hit OK, and now it's cut out the roof beyond. So now we'll try to join this roof again. So we'll hit attach top base, and it still will not let us join. And that's okay. Sometimes these things can be frustrating, but there's another way that we can make this join. So if we select this wall, and we can go to front view, let's edit the boundary of this wall. So if we go to edit profile, we can actually draw a new outline for this roof. So I picked the pick lines to pick the bottom of the eaves here, selected those two lines, and I'm going to hit trim corner, trim up the corners here, and then the last thing I'm going to do is select this horizontal line that's left over, right click and delete. Then you can finish, and now you can see we've got this. The roof is all cleaned up now, and the walls come all the way up to there. So now let's work on this missing portion of the roof. So if we select this roof, and we'll edit its profile to come all the way out over here. We'll edit the footprint. We will hit the align tool so that we align this edge with this edge. So you pick the point you want to align first. Then click the magenta line and it'll line over. And then hit OK. And now we can see the roof that we're trying to work with here. So right now we had a cut in this roof, and so let's go ahead and delete that cut. Just select it and hit delete. And let's see, check out this other roof. So I think this other roof was tried to join, so we're going to try and unjoin it now. So what I did there was, this roof was extended out to here, but the profile was only here. So what I did is to unjoin it, because if you hover over this roof join, it says join unjoin roofs. So if we pick it and it's already joined, we can pick it again to unjoin it. So now we've got this roof is now where we want it. We wanted it to cut back to here instead of being out here where this other roof is. And we'll look at our thing, and that looks right.
What's the last one? Green. I didn't say there was green. No, you didn't. You said brown.
Actually, let's try this out. So I kind of want this roof to come over the top of this other roof. So it looks like that's what it's doing in the reference materials.
Okay, got it.
That it kind of joins up with this other roof.
So there is
Which actually that looks like that's what it does. While we're here, let's create that double featured roof here. So what we'll do is I'm going to take this gabled in. I'm going to go to the front view of my 3D view. I'm going to hit move. And I'm just going to pick the midpoint and move it up to the peak. Oops, I'm not going to hit move because I want to hit copy. So I'll go over here to Modified tab, pick that midpoint, come up here to the peak, and then pick again, and then we'll pan out. You can see we copied that roof up, but if we look at our reference materials, you can see if you get the side view that this is the side that we were looking at, and this second kind of upper roof is back a little ways. So let us go back to our Revit, and I'm just going to go click the right on my view cube. I'm going to go to move, and I'm going to move it back a little ways. So let's move it back 3 feet. So when you're in the move command, if you move it left to right, you can kind of see how it gives you the little angled degrees if you're off angle, but if you're not, if you're on a 90-degree angle, or a 0 actually, or 90, you can see it snapping to it. If you're 0, it won't give you any angle, but if you're moving anything other than 0 to give you angle, but you can just move it over to the right, make sure it's not angled, and then you can enter in any number to give it a dimension to move it back. I'm going to move it back 3 feet, because that's what it kind of looks like here, It looks like it's still not lined up with that wall, so we're just going to guesstimate it. So let's go back to our 3D view, and now we've got our second roof. We can go look here. Now the interesting thing again is if we go to our front view, let's go to the right view. Oops. If we go to move, if that corner, we can do it in the plan view to see it easier. Let's see. Let's hide this roof. I'll show you how to hide this. So if you right click, you can say hide in view element, and then I'll show you how to get it back. So we can click this, hit move, and if we move this and all the way to the where the roof slopes so that it's nice and flush there. And actually I think what we'd want to do is this upper one we'd want it to be flush. So if we go to our 3D view, the roof just kind of dies into this other roof.
Wait, shoot. Hold on, I missed one last time.
Let's get it exact. There we go. Now we can see it just dies right into that roof, that's what our reference material looks like. And let's try to join it. And I think we're going to get the same error we were getting before. So we'll click our join unjoin roof geometry.
Because there's already a green.
And then we'll pick this face. See how it does what we want, but it says it can't be joined. And I think it's because that is so close to the edge there. So I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to select the roof, because when you select an element, so if I were to just hit this right view, it's going to go all the way out. But if you have an element selected, it'll give you the right view but zoomed in. So I'm going to move. I'm going to move this out 1/16 of an inch to see if that will help our joining. And we'll hit join. Pick this edge. Pick this face. Nope, still not going to let us. So I'm wondering if we do need to have that bottom edge out. So let's go to move. And we'll bring it all the way to that bottom edge. We'll try this again. I'm having a feeling that we'll have to move that out from that bottom edge another 16th just to give us. Nope, that'll work. So here we have this bottom aligned, and then we joined, and then it let us join it back. So if you've hidden something by right-clicking, selecting, and hiding it in view, to get it back, I believe you can go up to the View tab, and then, let's see, maybe it's not in the View tab. I know where it is on the bottom, but so let's go on the bottom. So it must only be on the bottom, or I just don't know where it lives up in the tab. So on the bottom, I often use these tools because these are the quick way to find all of your different modifications that you use for your views. So on the bottom, if we look, we have our scale, our detail level, our visual style. We have hidden or shaded or realistic. We have our sun path, shadows, rendering dialog, crop view, and then show crop region, unlock and lock 3D view. Then there's a temporary hide and isolate. And then here where this little light bulb is reveal hidden elements. So if you click that, anything that you've hidden or is hidden, it will show. So we have our origin that's hidden, all these, and these, what is it called? The analytical elements are hidden. And here's the roof that we've hidden. So you can see that they're highlighted in that magenta or red. So now if you were to right click, or if you were to left click on it, then right click, and then go to the top, unhide in view, and element. If we'd have hidden a category, it's grayed out because the category isn't hidden. We only hid the single element. So just click that. You can see that it is now not red anymore. And then you can either click down here to unhide, or up in it will bring up this toggle button up here. You can click that as well. And so now we've got our two roofs. They're both joined. As you can see, we have this overlap here. And so up at the Modify tab, you can click Join, and this will just clean up the joins between those two roofs. So we can pick one of the roofs and then pick the other, and then it joins them so they look seamless. Now the next thing we can do is add the little wall that is in here. And so in my top plate plan, I'm just going to pick, I will go to Architecture tab, click the wall, and then I'm going to change it to Finish Face Exterior. And the base constraint will be roof walls. And then the height will be unconnected, 10 feet. And so we'll just draw this wall in here. Always watch where it actually
Make it 7.
picks. So here you can see that with dashed line, that's the exterior face. If it's going the wrong way, hit the space bar to flip it. But we want the exterior face on the south side or the down side. And now we've picked this wall. This is just the basic wall with no siding, so we can change this to 6-inch wood stud with siding. And now we've got our siding here. And I'm going to attach this bottom to this roof. Basically, they'll just balloon frame in here. So I'm going to attach top. But instead of it attaching the wall to the top, I'll uncheck this and attach it to base. And then we'll pick this roof, and it'll attach the roof to the base here. For some reason, it only did some of it. So let's see. To detach, you pick the detach with the wall selected. And you can hit detach all. Let's give this an offset of like 5 feet. And so that it's floating up above here. And then I'm going to pull it all the way across here, just so that it is all the way in there. I'm going to try to attach the base. See, it was automatically switches back to top. We'll choose base, pick that roof again, and then actually we'll do attach base again, and that was why, because there's actually two roofs here, and attach the base to both these roofs. Then the next thing we'll do is attach the top to this upper roof. And we'll attach it again. So I think we're trying to attach it to too many roofs here. So maybe let's hold this roof back. So I think it's intersecting too many roofs, so we'll attach the top again. Still not wanting us to do that. It's not giving us the desired result. So let's try attaching. Oops, that's. So I think what we'll need to do is we'll click the wall, detach all, select the wall again, attached. Let's try to attach the top without the base being attached. Nope, see, it just does not want to let us do that. So I hit undo, grab the wall. I'm going to attach the base. Oops. I'll select the wall, attach top base, pick base, pick this roof, attach again to the base. Pick this roof, and then we're going to hit front to get a front view, and we're going to draw this profile.
Yeah, let's do it.
I just lowered the wall a little bit so not as much is sticking up. We'll edit this boundary here and here, then trim our lines. Make sure to remove any stragglers. Select, hold Control to select multiple elements, hit delete, and then hit OK. And now we've got our face. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this dimension from the eave back to the wall is the same as this. So I'm going to set my work plane on the architecture tab, all the way on the right here. Let it set. I'm going to pick the plane of this lower roof so that I can do a dimension. Go to Annotate. Get an align dimension. Pick this face. Oops, actually I think I want to set my work plane to the bottom of the eave so that I can get a dimension in the correct direction. So that it'll go this face to that face. It looks like it's about 1'3". So I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to set the work plane, architecture tab, set work plane, pick a plane, hit OK, set it to this face, get my dimensions back, aligned. Set the work plane again. So I don't think I said it right. There we go. Annotate. Align dimension. This face to that face. I tabbed to get this because it wasn't giving me that. It was giving me snapping to something else, so I wanted that line there at the wall face. Set that. Now to move the wall back, I can do it right here in this 3D view. If I pick the wall, you can see that the dimension gets small and highlights blue, indicating that you can enter that dimension. So if you just click into that dimension, I'll do that again. Click the wall, click into the dimension, and then now we can do 1 space 3 space 3/4. And now this wall that's sitting on top of the roof will be sitting back at the same distance as that roof. So to join these roofs, we're going to have to modify the boundaries of these two roofs. If we go into our plan view, we can edit this footprint. We're going to have to bring this roof edge to this side here, so that to get these roofs to join, they'll be joined to one roof instead of trying to join them to 2 separate roofs. So I'm going to pick this edge to align to and hit OK. It's going to say it's going to detach this wall from the roof since we had it attached there, so we can just hit detach target. And let's edit this roof slope. So what we'll do is we'll edit the boundary of this second roof here, and we'll have to draw in additional lines here. So we can start at this top corner, come all the way down, and then over, and then we can trim these two, and then trim this one up here. Before we hit done, we'll make sure that we uncheck define roof slope on this line so that we don't get a slope that comes up this way. Hit OK. And now we've got our roof separated a little bit further so that this roof is just at this edge, and you can see the little notch that we had there is gone. And so now it's now it's a clean join. And let's attach this base to this roof again. So let's hit detach all, select it again, and attach base, and then we'll pick this roof so it attaches to that base. Let's do one more thing. Let's create a dormer opening in this roof for this element here. Actually, we don't have to. If there was a usable space up here, you would do that, but they would probably just overbuild this roof, just kind of frame on top of the trusses. So that's that side. We're almost there. This little opening here. We could attach to this roof, but it's only going to attach the wall here. But we have interior wall underneath here that won't be able to attach. So let's get the right front view, and we'll edit the profile like we did on that other wall. So edit profile, pick lines. We'll pick the bottom of the eave here, then trim corner here, just go around and make sure your boundary's all closed. Hit escape, pick this last horizontal line, hit delete or right click delete, and then hit finish. It's going to give us a notification that it can't keep these two walls joined, but that's okay. And we've got that end closed up. This end looks good. This end, we used in the architectural tab to cut a vertical face in this wall. So I'll show you how we did that. So if you pick over here and window over a large area, you can filter out everything you don't want to select. Hit check none, and then uncheck, and then check roof opening cut. Hit OK, and then it should have selected the roof opening that we cut here. You can see that in the properties palette there are 3 selected. Parentheses 3 shows you how many elements are selected. Then if you hit delete, it'll delete those the roof opening that was cut. And then we can come over here to our plan view, and we can cut. I'll show you how we cut that opening out. So if you select, we can do, let's see, should we do by face or vertical cut? Let's do vertical cut. We'll pick that roof, and then we can draw the boundary lines of where we want it to cut. We want it to cut along this edge, but we want the roof to extend underneath too, so let's delete that line, pick this line again. We'll stop at the grid line, which should be our face of stud. Finish off our boundary, and then hit OK. And now it's cut our roof boundary here. Cut the wall, or cut the roof so that it outlines this boundary. And it looks like we're getting pretty close, and the last thing we'll need to do is bring this roof back to this wall here, or to the roof there. So let's go to the plan view, and we'll edit this boundary, or edit footprint. Drag this boundary line back, just so it's over the roof. We don't actually have to do this, but for me, I think it's easier to visualize. We can select this roof again, pick join unjoin roof on the modify tab, and then click that back boundary. and then pick the face. And then you can see it cut it all the way back there. Now we could leave the boundary out here. So if we join unjoin roofs, we should be able to just click that edge and that face. And then again to this edge, to this face. You could see that it did the same thing. The thing that I like, it's just if you were to go to edit this boundary, you can see that it's only the sliver, so it might be easier and make more sense to have it pulled back. But you can see it works either way. Then we can draw in this wall here. So if you get into your wall, change it to the siding. We'll change this to finish face exterior. Throw in the wall. I'm going to get a front view of this wall. Make sure it looks like it's sitting on top of that same level of the top of those posts. As you can see, it's back a little further, so I'm going to go up into the Modify tab and hit Align. Pick the face of this column, face of this wall, and I'll align. Then I'm also going to trim, extend to this side, so the wall is the entire length, and do the same thing on the other side. Now in reality there'll probably be a beam across the top here, but we can get into that later. The wall framing would sit on top of that beam, and then there would be also beams running back into the roof, and then we'd have a soffit or a ceiling out here as well. For these purposes, we'll just get this out-facing wall so our elevation looks like it matches. Select the wall, hit Attach Top Base, and of course it's doing that thing again. So let's try that again to this side. Get the same results. Let's do Detach, Detach All. I don't know why it likes to do that. Let me try something here. Let's try to trim to the inside face of this column. Sometimes Revit it's trying to do something. It's not necessarily doing something wrong, it's just we're not giving it the correct input. So we'll try this, see if, so yeah, I'm wondering if because it was extended out past here a little ways on both sides, that because it was outside of it, that it could have been it was only able to align to one edge. And so bringing it in allowed us to align to edge. So now it looks like we've got this all cleaned up. Let me check our elevations. Starting to look good. And now we've got what looks like a good outside exterior version of our house. So let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that I didn't cover well, and then we can go over anything again. Let's get these walls attached. So let's attach to this roof, and we got those cleaned up. Looks like there's an inside wall here. We'll attach that as well to this roof, and bam, there we go. Now we have a house. Alright, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.